Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Adriana and this is a space where I share recipes with you that I love. Today I want to share with you one of my all-time favorite salsa recipes. One that just happens to be so easy to make that you're not going to believe that it literally requires 2 ingredients and a little bit of salt. But if you follow my instructions and you really pay attention to the ingredients, you're going to see why it's one of my favorite recipes. To make it, I will be using the traditional molcajete, which is a volcanic rock used in Mexico to grind up spices and make salsas. I highly suggest one if you can get your hands on one because I really find that it does such a beautiful job of breaking the ingredients down just perfectly so that everything is incorporated and the flavor is going to be very unique. But if you can't find one and you have a simple mortar and pestle of another different kind, it's totally okay. But I really encourage you to find a molcajete. So let's get started. For the ingredients, we're going to need 2 vine-ripe tomatoes, 2 jalapenos, or if you want it spicier, you could do serrano peppers, and some salt. To make this salsa, it's gonna be so easy. The first thing we're gonna do is roast our tomatoes and our jalapenos. I'm going to be using a cast iron just because I love the way that it really brings out a beautiful roasting flavor to the ingredients. But you could use an oven and a broiler if that's what you want. I highly recommend doing it on a stove on a cast iron. So I'm going to turn my heat to a medium high and just simply place our tomatoes in here and our jalapenos. And we're just going to let them roast. And about every 3 or 4 minutes, we're going to just flip them around until everything is roasted on all sides. Now that our tomatoes and jalapenos are fully roasted, I'm going to start removing some of the skins and start breaking it down on the molcajete. I'm first going to start with the jalapenos. I'm only removing what I can from the skin. If there's still a little bit of the skin on it, it's completely okay. These roasted so beautifully. They're completely cooked. I can smell the sweetness that came out of them. At this point, I'm going to start breaking down the jalapenos, and this is where I like to add my salt. I'm just going to add a little bit. And we can start breaking them down. If you've not with a molcajete before, the trick is to use all sides of the molcajete to really break everything down. So if you notice, I'm not just using the bottom part, but I'm actually using all of the sides as well. So I think the jalapenos are done. If you can notice, pretty much it's completely broken down. I don't mind the seeds. I like to leave them just as is. I do want to make sure to break down all of the actual veins of the chilies because those are going to be the spiciest. I think that's perfect. So now I can move on to the tomatoes. So I'm going to remove the skin from the tomatoes. And again, it's completely okay if you want to leave some of the charred parts on it. I think it adds a great flavor. But I don't want to leave too much because too much of it will actually make our salsa a little bit bitter. At this point, you could also remove the top of the tomato where the vine is usually connected, but honestly, I don't mind it. I'm just going to leave it. And again, the secret to a really good salsa de molcajete is making sure that you're really salting every single ingredient so that it really assists in the breaking down of the salsa and coming together. So before I start smashing these tomatoes, I'm going to add a little bit more salt. And it smells so good. The tomatoes smell so sweet. They smell completely cooked. And I can smell a little bit of that char. And again, don't be afraid to use the sides of the molcajete to assist you in breaking down the ingredients. So at this point, I'm going to use a spoon to clean out the sides of the molcajete. That way we can grab any of the jalapeno that was stuck on the sides and really mix it in. Beautiful. Everything looks really incorporated and it's still a little bit chunky, just the way that I like it. So this is a point where I'm going to taste it. Let's see, hopefully it's not too spicy. I'm going to taste to see if there's any salt needed. Ooh, it's definitely on the spicy side. I'm going to add just a tiny, tiny pinch of salt. Beautiful. So there you have it, my favorite salsa de molcajete. This is one of the easiest salsas you can make in any kitchen. And I know it sounds like it's just two simple ingredients that are coming together with salt, but that's the beauty of real traditional Mexican food, is simply using some very ripe ingredients that have a lot of flavor, slowly cooking them so that when they come together and that rusticness, all of the flavors just work beautifully together. I hope that you get to try this salsa at home. I hope that you get to try it on all of your tacos or any of the dishes you want. Simply eat it with some chips. Make any changes that you want to it, but this is the basis of one of the best salsas that you're gonna have. Buen provecho.